The body of a young black teen, Nolan Wells of Mississippi, was found 2 days later after the 4th of July, 2026, in the water after being reported by his friends as being missing. First of all, I want to offer my condolences to his parents who are understandably heartbroken over this incident and all of the friends that he had that actually cared enough to tell the truth and speak out regardless of who may be pressuring or trying to pressure them to not say certain things. So let's unpack this. So Nolan reportedly went to go celebrate the 4th of July with a group of all white friends on the boat, and this is how it all began. The group of friends all returned safely, but Nolan never returned. Now, the thing that strikes me the most is that investigators have reported that they have gotten conflicting stories from many of the people that were present on the boat and in the area, as there were tons of people because it was a 4th of July celebration on a very popular dock. And when stories don't add up or they're not consistent or there's people who haven't given their stories yet, even when the authorities are seeking and asking, it kind of lends to some fishiness with me. Now, there's reports that one of the kids that were present, mother is a judge. I haven't verified that, but you know how the internet is when it comes to these type of cases. There's a lot of people that look into a lot of things, and most of the times these rumors, unconfirmed things come back true. So we'll see how that one plays out. But if your friend is missing, why would you guys not know where he is, especially if he doesn't come home? And why is nobody out looking for him, the people, especially the people that were with him? I find it strange that all of the white kids managed to make sure that all of the white kids got back, but the one black kid that's on the boat with them, that's supposed to be their friend, he miraculously disappears, and nobody from the boat is sure exactly whether or not he was safe or not or where he was. They're giving conflicting stories, and there's stories of him getting on a boat with other people. There's stories of him just getting off the boat. There's even a video floating around of an argument that's believed to be filmed of him and his friend group having an argument, a very loud argument earlier in that day. So there are a lot of suspicions around him being missing and his death. Another thing I want to address is I've seen a few different media reports, and a lot of this legacy media or the dinosaur media or the mainstream media, a lot of this media always tries to slant young black males and young black women or black people in general in a negative light. So there's some media have reported that he was seen holding what looks to be alcohol in his hands, and I think that's an attempt to taint the character of him and to make him look like he's a alcoholic or a drinker or something, and maybe this incident is something that was caused by an accident, which we don't know, so we can't lean towards this, which is always one of those things when young black males especially are found killed in suspicious circumstances. They try to rule it a suicide or some accidental death. And in this case, I don't believe it is. I believe there was a fight and something bad happened to him and they just left. Like, we've heard this story countless times of these situations. You had the story of the black woman that went to the sleepover at her friend's house, a bunch of white women, and they woke up supposedly the next morning and she was dead on the lawn, and none of them are going to jail, I believe, and none of them were speaking out. I believe there was one white woman, and she started to speak, and I believe they silenced her. So these things happen very frequently to black people who are the token or the only person in white spaces. You have no protection. Now, my thing is, here's where I stand on it. I think we should be looking at all of the kids that were on the boat with him, the people that he was with, the friend group that's supposed to protect him. Now, as we go along, stories will come out, things will not make sense, stories will be fishy, and you'll start to see, I believe, some of these teens lawyer up. And I think when we start seeing that lawyering up or that clamming up and not talking it or cooperating with investigators anymore, I believe that's where your story is. That's when you start to see the cracks in the armor and the lies start to fall apart, because I see this as it's too suspicious for this to not be foul play, in my opinion. And I say that because if I'm with my friends, we never gone out hundreds of times and never not taking everybody back unless we know who the person is that they left with. Like everybody. And when we get home, we text or call to see and make sure everybody made it in. And if somebody didn't make it in, one of us or multiple of us is getting in the car and going to find out why that person is not responding. So this is really strange to me when things like this happen. And I'm talking about when I went out as a kid, these ages. So I think that if there's any foul play going on, I think somebody should speak up, because this mother and this father are grieving. I mean, imagine your kid doesn't come home. Like, everybody has people in their family that pass away, and just it's something like this where you let your kid go and then the kid doesn't come back and you find out the kid is deceased. Like, that's a parent's worst nightmare. And a lot of teens think they're invincible. When they leave the house, they think they have it all under control, and they don't think that things like this would happen to them, or that there are evil people out here that are plotting on their demise, even though they're pretending to be friends. And I'm not saying that that's what happened in this instance, but I'm saying that that's a very likely possibility, that his friends are responsible for his demise. And if that is the case, and he's dead because of one of his friends or multiple of his friends, then those people are murderers. And then if they don't go punished, you'll have one or more murderers walking the streets, working alongside you at the office, working alongside you at the fast food place, serving you food. You'll have murderers walking around, sometimes living great lives, living lives of luxury, while the family still grieves with no answers and no justice. So when it comes to these type of cases, it's very important that they get solved, because who wants to live with murderers among them? There are a lot of people that know and understand what happened, and at times, like in the Carmelo Anthony case, you'll have law enforcement tell these children not to speak or say anything. They'll put pressure on them and their families not to tell what they know. And I believe that is a bad thing and evil at times, because if they know what happened, I would trust that information with the family before I would trust it with anybody else. I believe the family should be told by witnesses what they witnessed. what happened, what they know. What is the streets saying? The streets always talking. The rumor mills are always going. So there's a lot of stories out there, and I'm sure the mother and father have heard a bunch of them, and we'll start to hear them because you, most teens, they can't keep quiet. Social media has their mind, so they won't be able to not speak on certain things. So what we have to do is keep gathering all of this information that gets posted and keep track of what's being said in the initial instances that people first speak, because that's when a lot of truth comes out. And then after time goes on, a lot of the videos disappear, a lot of the information disappears. So this stuff has to be made available for investigation purposes and truth purposes. Now, his body was found in the water, and it's known by his friends that he is a swimmer. He learned how to swim, I believe he said, at the YMCA. He and his friends have taken classes at the YMCA, so him drowning is not a likely possibility if he's not intoxicated, which preliminary reports from the sheriff says that there was no alcohol or drugs found in his system. So according to the preliminary reports, there's no reason for him to have drowned from intoxication or under the influence. So something short of an accidental something. Why would a kid drown that's able to swim? That stands out as a bit fishy to me. Another thing that stands out as strange to me is the media has been reporting that his phone was left on the boat. So a teenager left on the 4th of July all by himself without his phone. That is one of the strangest things in the world. I mean, I'm a grown man and I don't go anywhere without my phone. Teenagers, that's their life. So that's a little bit fishy to me. And why I say it's fishy is because there's a woman who has reportedly, she's the grandmother to to the kids in the neighborhood, to a lot of the teens in the neighborhood. She's not, I don't believe she's their real grandmother, but she's reported as saying that the mother actually found the son's phone through location services. So she checked his location on his phone, and that's how she got the phone, not because some kid just randomly brought it to her or one of his friends randomly brought it to her. So those are conflicting stories. These are the things that make a case fishy when it gets to the public, because the information that is reported as though this is factual, when there then seems to be some conflicting story that comes out. So did a friend voluntarily bring the mom the phone, or did the mother ping his location, and then when she was looking for him, and that's how she found where the phone was and who had the phone, and maybe contacted the friend who had the phone, and then the friend brought it. So if that's the case, and if the media knows that and doesn't report that, then the media is neglectful in that sense, because you don't give information that's not complete but still throw stuff out there unless you're trying to create a narrative that this is the way the story goes. And usually it's because there's more to the story, or they're trying to sensationalize. Either way, there's a young black man that's dead, and we don't know why. So we need to have the facts, not what's being offered at times. Now, when law enforcement went searching the second day, they did actually find a body of a young black male. And there's something that stood out to me. There's a couple things. One thing is when the report, I watched the news report and it said that they were not, the mother was there to verify the body and she was grieving. And they're saying that this is believed to be him, but not confirmed yet. And they need to do a DNA test to verify that this is the teen. And what struck me was that the first thing popped in my head was, why would it not be him? Because you would have to, in my opinion, it's like how many black males are floating in that water? Like how many black males are missing from that night? So if that is the only black male that you have reported from that area from that night, then it's could only be him. That just was a little weird to me. I mean, even with the mother on the scene, that's still weird to me. And the other thing is, what's big for me is the media is reporting that when the mother was there and they verified the body and the family, the mother and the father, they're on the scene, a lot of the friends and people that knew him began to show up and console and mourn with the family at the site. And my question is, were there any of those boys that were, or those young men that were on the boat with him, were they present that night when the body was found, and were they there at the site with the family and consoling the family? And if they were not, who of the people that were on the boat with him were there and who was not? Because that will tell a lot. Because if you don't show up to the scene, then you kind of look guilty. But if you do show up to the scene, how were you acting, behaving? What did you say to the family about their missing, now confirmed dead son? So a lot can be inferred from these interactions and the lack of interactions in this instance. But I just want to get y'all opinion on this. Get in the comments. Let me know what y'all think of this. Nolan Wells, 18-year-old young black male, found dead in the water, found deceased in the water. I don't like saying dead because, like, when I think of families, that's like one of those disrespectful words that you would want somebody to say about somebody kid that's passed. So found deceased, and my heart goes out to the mother and the father, because this is something that you always, when your kids leave, you wonder like why your parents always used to be like that, especially us black kids. Your parents always my mother used to stay up 2 to 3 o'clock in the mornings. I come in the house as a 19, 20, 21-year-old from us going out, hanging out, and, going places. And my mother would still be, it's 2:30, 3 in the morning. And then she's going to work at 6 or 7. But she's up until I walk in the door. You know what I'm saying? Like these things, we as black parents, this is something that we dread, like especially these, like when we send our kids to places we don't know, with people we don't know, in communities where we don't trust a lot of what goes on in those communities. They're supposedly good communities. So how does a good community, a good area, leave young black men deceased with countless stories in the media year after year? So these areas cannot be good areas, safe areas. This can't be a good neighborhood if the black children that come there are found dead under suspicious circumstances. But anyway, Get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of this. I'm out.